with a small statement. Stop searching and start discovering. Stop searching and start discovering. Uh, a researcher, when begins the journey of doing a research, maybe for publication of an article or for an extensive research work carried out for a PhD, probably happens to start the journey with a rigorous searching work of what topic to be covered, which topic to be selected, and how it is to be carried on, moved ahead, etc. So, here at this point, today's session, we will be looking at and learning as to how do we end up, how do we make this journey easier of searching and discovering various tools which enables a researcher to understand to make the journey easy and comfortable. So here are the few objectives of today's session. We begin with to understand the meaning of research tool. What is basically a research tool? Followed by we'll focus on the various tools which are available, which mostly the researchers can rely on for making their journey of writing article, doing their PhDs, etc. Analyzing and understanding the significant nodes where a researcher has to give a pause and understand and take the help of various tools available, which will facilitate them and make their work more easier comparatively than as compared to a conventional way of doing the same work. To begin with, let's see what is a research tool. Research tool is defined as a vehicle that broadly facilitate research and related activity. Now, this is not specific to writing an article or doing a PhD. It can be generalized. Anybody who is interested in publishing papers or into a PhD work can, will be definitely through this journey, will be passing on through this journey, which wherein they happens to a node where they are loaded with lots and lots of information, out of which is best, what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. There is lot of extensive exhaustive data, comprehensive data is available online. But how do a person, and that too at the very elementary level for a research scholar, say, how do we confine ourselves? How do we narrow down ourselves? And who can we rely on? What best we can take out of that available material? There are several questions which are, which comes up in the minds of the research scholars and everyone across who is into research. So this kind of tools which we would probably be discussing in today's session will enable all of you to help you to step by step um, narrow down your journey out of extensive work. You can select and slowly safely move on to the level by level, cross level by level, and move on in your journey of research. So research tools, see, there is a thin line between more oftenly researchers and the people across get confused as to research tool and techniques. Techniques are the methods which are adopted. Tools are those exclusive applications, or say websites, or say certain softwares which enables a researcher to ease their work, ease the journey in the research, the flow of research. So tool and technique, they are two different. Research methodology talks about various techniques, how a sample is selected, how data is collected. All those talks about various techniques which one can adopt. But here in today's session, we will be focusing only on the tools which can be used by a research scholar or anyone who's into research, which will enable them to easily flow in their journey of research. And so it is called as a facilitator, or a vehicle which enables you to move from one phase to another phase very safely, systematically, and by following all the ethical um, uh, ethics of research, by following and ensuring that you don't deviate. Your journey continues in the research. This again makes a researcher understand how research flows from. To start with, it is to start collecting the data, organizing, analyzing. Broadly, we happen to summarize research work, complete research work, into these categories. Those are collecting, organizing, analyzing, visualizing, and publicizing. Collecting the data, uh, I hope if you have attended research methodology sessions, you will understand that the various ways to collect the data, such as interviews, questionnaire form, observations, personal interviews. There can be seminars, conferences organized. So, how are you collecting the data? The way there are a number of ways. Out of that, you select a best way to collect the data, followed by the collected data needs to be organized systematically. Otherwise, there could be chances where you happen to lose some important significant data by focusing or forgetting or giving less importance to the important aspects of at a particular node. You end up losing that significance because one is overloaded with information. Then putting this organized data into processing stage, where a researcher happens to analyze the data by tabulating them, putting them under various testers, and then drawing certain interpretations out of it. Then visualizing and ensuring that your data is good enough, ready to be presented, etc. Followed by publicizing the output, which is wherein a researcher now is keen in looking for some journals, papers, newsletters, could be textbooks, etc., where they wanted to publicize their research work. Okay, so here the research tool includes the collection of information can be in the form of Google Forms. The most popular one these days are Google Forms, through which one can collect the data. This is one of the tool. Question Pro, Survey Monkey, and many n number of websites are available, which are again free, and there are certain websites which even charge for their services. So to collect the data, we can use these tools to collect the data, which is facilitating the researcher in easing our work. Conventionally, the before Google and a decade back, if you look at collection of data, used to be done for months together, and in fact sometimes years together. Now, this is just in couple of days you can finish collecting the data, provided you have a proper reach to the targeted sample. So with this application, through these websites, you can create Google Forms, Question Pro. You can create your questionnaire and circulate among the various groups. Thanks to WhatsApp, again, it can also be considered as a tool which enables you to collect the data. So likewise, there are available websites. I will show you websites which are available after few slides. So collecting of data can be done using these websites. organizing. Now, how do you organize the data? To organize the data, one can use Google Scholar, Pocket application, which is also available on our mobile phones. Mendeley app is available, Quizlet, Quora, Zotero. This is not the endless. There are many in line. If to be presented, this slide will not be enough. There are many. So out of this, the best ones, pocket friendly, Google Scholar, and the Mendeley, which is again a popular one, which most of the research scholars end up relying on, can be used to organize the data. I will show you the website and how it can be used in the next slides. Okay. Next is analyzing. Now, next stage is how do you analyze the data? Is wherein you wanted to tabulate it, make certain charts, and analyze the data by applying certain testers like ANUVA, chi-square, t-test, pair t-test, z-test, etc., etc. So to analyze this data, conventionally, if you do, it takes months together to sit and analyze. But if you take the help of these tools such as SPSS, R, Tableau, Excel sheets, etc., the very basic simple, if you do not know SPSS and R, forget. You can just rely on Excel, Microsoft Excel, which you can use to you apply a particular test. You can do from chi-square, mean, median, regression, standard deviation, any test is that you wanted to apply. You can simply go ahead and use your Excel sheet, which is by default there in any system. If any scholar is interested in applying advanced technique to know the results in a better form, then they can further go on for SPSS and R and Tableau. All these, are available, provided these analysis tools are available on package basis. So one has to check before you rely on such tools. SPSS is provided for 14 days free trial version. Later, they will be charging. So, depending on our requirement, one has to choose the best one. Otherwise, Microsoft Excel is sufficient enough to do with mean, median, mode, ANUVA, T, Z, etc., etc. Then visualization and presentation. Here, one scholar is now ready with the data so far collected, organized, and also analyzed. Now you should ensure before you move on to publications that it is not plagiarized. So again, to check a plagiarism, online free tools are available, which you can rely on. For example, if you upload your document, it will give you a report stating how much content in your report is plagiarized, what percentage of the content is plagiarized, and there are colors used for the plagiarized. And on the right side panel, it will show you from which source you have copied the lines, phrases, etc. Again, you don't have to worry. After looking at the plagiarism report, again, a research scholar can rely on certain tools such as uh, uh, you know, Google Scholars, etc. Paraphrasing tools are available, where you can rephrase the same lines in your own style, or it can be done automatically by some application, or it needs to be done manually. After doing that complete, paraphrasing, either by the applications or by manually, again, when you upload your document into these plagiarism tools, the percentage will come down. And the percentage as of now is supposed to be maintained at 10%. 10% is at some places it is even 5%. So not more than that is tolerated. So you will get your work back if it is more than or exceeding 10%. So by using online tools of plagiarism applications which are available online, we can check how much before sending, we can check how much it is, the content is plagiarized, and followed by, based upon the report that is generated, we ourselves at our end, we can redo that work, change that the content by using the paraphrasing tools and make it ready for publication, followed by and the last content is publicizing our work. Again, publication needs, again, there are list of places where we can publicize our work, out of which the first importance goes to Web of Science, Scopus, ABDC journals, followed by high impact factor with ISSN number, etc. So these are again, there are many journals available. For publicizing, I would suggest one can just simply rely on the UGC portal. There is in consortium where you can register yourself. That consortium will give you a list of all UGC Care List 1 journal and UGC Care List 2 journals, out of which you can select. So basically, if you look at collection, organizing, analyzing, visualizing, and publicizing, to facilitate our journey, which begins with collection of data and then ends with publicizing, there are n number of tools available which research scholars can adopt to write an article, to do their PhD work. They can adopt and make their journey easy. So this is about research tool, which consists of the 5 stages that we are discussing. Yes, besides collecting also includes observation, interviews, questionnaire. Questionnaire, as I told, the Google Forms, Question Pro, SurveyMonkey, etc. Websites can be looked at for collecting the data. Observations, interviews, all these are again done by using online platforms like observations. You can have Zoom platforms, you can use Google platforms. Interview sessions are also done by having one-to-one interview, online interviews, even a group interview, seminars and conferences in the name of webinars are conducted. So there are several tools available from Zoom, Google to X, etc. So many are there available. Which one best suits for you and your comfortability, you can choose and learn more about it, explore more about it, about how to use it, and then start using it in your research. This will 100% surely, for sure, it will facilitate your journey and make your journey very smooth and comfortable in research. Followed by organizing. See, if you sit and start organizing your data, there are chances that some data which is of importance, you may lose it. But if you take the help of the tools which are available, for sure, there won't be any data which will be missed. Okay, it may go out of your memory, but it definitely will not go out of the data which you entered into the applications. So hence we can rely on such applications to organize our data meaningfully and presentable formats. Followed by analyzing, I just discussed, checking reliability, publicizing, and impactful journals. Okay. So I will be showing here about collecting the data online. Yeah, 1 second. See, this is, I hope my screen is on, where I'm showing Grammarly free online writing assistant. If someone can let me
Ma'am,
know
the
if
screen
my
is not
screen
visible,
is,
ma'am.
it's not.
No, ma'am, we're not able to see, ma'am.
1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this on?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. See, this is one of the tool which one can adopt. This is Grammarly free online writing assistant. The moment you start typing, here is the desktop icon, which you can simply download it by giving all the credentials required. You can just download it. The moment you download, here you can see on the screen, hi, I think we should be able to solve this issue for you. Okay, so here it is striked out and it is said we can solve this issue for you. So how better you can present your English content will, this kind of application. This is just one sample that I am showing you here, presenting you. Likewise, there are many. Okay, why Grammarly for work, how it can be used for education. So you can download here. It is freely available. Moment you download, an icon here will be, extension will be shown here. You can download the extension, and next time when you open your Word document, uh, it is by default, if you all can know, by default available in our Gmail accounts. When you type anything in Gmail, it will show a Grammarly check. So check if anyone can do that. Otherwise, you can simply go to this download session Google page. Just type it Grammarly, and the icon, the extension can be downloaded, and this will be by default available for all your content writing, Notepad, Word pads, Word documents, etc. What it does, it's simply when you start using in Microsoft Word, whatever you type, the better version of it will be shown on the right side panel. Now it is left to your choice whether you accept that or you continue with your own writing. But there is someone who is allowing you, I mean, who is suggesting you the better way. uh, Probably it can be the better, or you can be more better than the software. You should be deciding about the same, and any grammar mistakes etc will be highlighted. The simple grammar mistakes that we end up doing will be highlighted. We can just immediately do the corrections there itself. So this is one Grammarly check. Then followed by, we have another tool called Mendeley's reference management tool. This again is a tool. This is itself is found by a PhD student, and is acquired by Elsewise in 2013. This is mostly used to write bibliography and bibliography in the research articles and PhD work, because you end up using a lot of citations, lot many references will be there in PhD work. It becomes difficult for a scholar to put it in the order as prescribed, etc. So these again, this kind of tools will enable you ease your work, um, which otherwise you have to sit and do manually. Okay, so this will enable you just have to upload your document onto this site. It will give auto generate another document in the prescribed format, which is acceptable by all the journals, including Web of Science, etc. So you can just see the steps are here. If you want to download, here is the button. You can download it on your desktop, which will make your journey of research very smooth and convenient. So this is about Mendeley's app. This is grammar extension. And this is your SPSS for analyzing your data. This is also available, but the condition here is it is available for only 14 days. After 14 days, you will not be able to. So rather, what I would suggest you is here, there is something called try SPSS statistic. Mm, okay, or there are certain places on Google, websites where without license also these extension is available. I do not know how many of you will be able to do so. In case if you are good at that, then you can just download it. But this is something which is available for 14 days. So what I suggest for the scholars and people come across me for data analysis, I would suggest them collect your data, organize your data, understand what steps you have to, what testers you are planning to do. First, make yourself clear. Then on one fine day, relax and download this software. which is available for 14 days. So immediately you download whatever you are requirements are. This day one itself, you have to generate the reports. And generating the report using IBM software is just few minutes. Only it takes, at the most, I can say for 30 minutes if you are a beginner. You just have to upload your Excel sheet. After uploading, certain variables need to be changed. If you make your Excel sheet readily available, which syncs with the SPSS software, then you don't even have to do that much. Simply uploading, or you open using SPSS. Once you open it, there is an analyze button like in Excel sheet. That analyze button you will open and see the where n number of testers are available. Out of that, which you want table, graph, with graph, without graph, a table how format you want, on rows in column, columns in rows, how many rows, how many columns, all that you can select and just click on OK. Moment you click, it will just take a second or 2 seconds to buffer, and it will give you hundreds and more than hundreds of tables in a second. So these are the softwares which will help researchers to conduct all those testers, which manually takes time of not less than months together to sit and do conventionally. Because I have been teaching this research methodology statistics subject. For teaching ANUVA problem, for one problem, I take complete 50 minutes. I start with the question and end up with doing it and writing the conclusion. This, if I do this with the help of a software, just a minute, just 1 minute. I just have to go to analyze button. There is a drop down box. I will select ANOVA one way or two way. That is the subtype. I'll just select which I wanted to go for, and I'll click OK. That's it. The next blink of an eye, the reports are already generated. Reports are generated. These reports, I can simply download it in any form that I want. Again, in any form here refers to in Word, in Excel, or in Notes, or in any other online way, PDF, in any way you want, you can download. You can download. You can export or you can download. So that is the option available. So such an extensive work is done in just a couple of minutes. How good you are at using these tools, that much time you can save you can save and invest the same time in making your article more better than earlier. Lot of time of a researcher gets ended up in collecting the data, organizing, etc., in these all process. So when a researcher ends up using these kind of tools, I assure you, you can save a lot of time. The other tools which I can talk about is size space, which is again useful for literature review. Now, moment you type in a Google form here, any topic, okay, you type it any topic like, uh, you know, um, cryptocurrency or anything, you will end up getting a lot of data here. Cryptocurrency, okay, so you end up getting. Now, the question is, how do you filter it out? Which data you would like to take up, which data you would ignore. The decision maker, that is the role of a researcher, is complex here. See, so many research works. This is in Google. Now, if you ask me about looking at in the scholars, Google scholars, again, the amount of data that I will be receiving will be more, in fact. So how am I going to filter this and see how which one is better and which one ignore the, how do I filter it out. Okay, this is the biggest question in front of every researcher when your journey begins to collect data. How, what, so many works are available years together from 2013, a decade back, 2 decades back, whatever information you want, they're all available. But how are you going to filter it? There is a tool called size space literature, which you can use. And in this, you can discover as per your requirement what you want. A research scholar, here is the, um, yes, start searching here. You can just give your keywords as to what is your need, and probably sometimes you, if in case a research scholar citations, views, downloads, all these elements, if you know, you can just give the this information in the filter section and start looking at the customized result. Okay, what year you want, which type of data you're looking for, authors, if you know probably an author on whose work you wanted to refer, then you can give institutions, topics, journals. So like this you can filter, select whichever your categories are, and then go for the search. With this, what happens is the amount of data is already filtered. So now you can concentrate on that filtered data and confine yourself to that data and start your journey of writing literature. So this is how the size space will enable, help the researchers to facilitate the journey of literature survey, which mostly is the kickstart of the journey of research. And during this period, that's the elementary, the fundamentally in the very beginning phase of the journey, the scholars end up doing or extending this literature review work up to 6 months to 1 year. Even I have seen scholars dedicatively doing literature review for years, half of their journey of their PhD, say if it is for 4 years, 2.5 years, they'll be spending only in just doing literature review. So suggestion is like, if you use this kind of tools and filter what is your requirement on these lines, this will facilitate you. And the time which you happen to spend only on doing literature review can be invested in otherwise in some better or notes which will strengthen your or make your article or your work more better. Okay, so these are the few tools that I like to show you: size space, SPSS, and this is Grammarly and download. These are few examples. Don't ever, be under the impression that whatever I'm showing is the endless. This is just the example. Okay, and so I am back to my PPT. Hope my PPT is on. If not, please let.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
So moving ahead here, we have certain nodes where a research scholar or while writing article or a PhD work needs to pause and look at, very systematically and ensure that they don't have problems in the later stage. So a pause is required at the nodes. And what are those very significant hierarchical nodes? And those are categorized into four. Number one is literature review, and number two is writing a paper. Three, targeting suitable journals, and the fourth one is enhancing visibility and impact. And let's move on and see searching the literature. Just now I showed a website, Size Science, which enables you to see. Besides Size Space, which I happen to show you, there is Mendeley, Zotero, Scirave, etc. Okay, many applications are freely available, which it is a scholar can download and use it. The very first thing that you have to do is download it, give your required credentials to start using it. Once you start using it, take filter options, use the options of filters, and start filtering the data, topics, years, by using keywords, etc. You can just filter it and then use it for your literature. Okay, and besides these applications that we have, conventionally, I mean manually, what one is supposed to do is define the topic. Considering the scope of your topic, identify the main or important aspects, compiling a list of keywords, developing your search strategy. This is very important. Developing a search strategy plays a significant role. To here, it may be not so important, but yes, it plays a very vital role. Why? Because you are sometimes lost in searching the data. Every time you search, you happens to find a new data which is so very which looks to be, or which happens to be more interesting than what you learned yesterday. Today's data is far better and more interesting and more convincing, so you forget about yesterday's data. That happens with every researcher. So in order to limit ourselves and confine ourselves, we have to develop a search strategy. This is basically to ensure that you get a clarity on what you would be searching, and you will be sticking only to those lines, nothing else. Any additional information coming, you know that you should not get into that information, because you developed a search strategy. Okay, then next, keywords. Suppose in a application you are using, or on Google, you're searching certain things, use keywords. Again, by using keywords, moment you type, it will give you end list, big, huge, extensive, comprehensive list of available keywords. How do you confine yourself? Again, stick to the filters, stick to the main aspects. Only then you will be safely going. Otherwise, you will be totally lost in this ocean of knowledge. The more you learn, the more you come across the data. Everything looks happens to be fascinating. Everything happens to be having a relevance. Everything seems to be quite important. You feel like you cannot ignore this. That's where the strategy is required. To develop a search strategy, one, if you have a proper strategy in searching the data, then I assure you, you will never deviate. Suppose cryptocurrency, if I am searching, I know I should know which year I want, from which year to which year. Anything coming before that year, I will not accept. Suppose I fixed it from 2019 to 2022. So any information which is coming earlier to this, like 2018 data, is 1817 data, I will not even open. That's how I should be very clear. Suppose cryptocurrency, there are various other trending topics in accounts. Suppose in forensic accounting is there, green accounting is there. Suppose I am looking at cryptocurrency and some information is shown about forensic accounting and others. I should be very clear as to I should look at only on forensic accounting and nothing else. And nothing else. The moment I deviate or switch to green accounting, or say from cryptocurrency to forensic accounting, I am lost. Again, that's a subject which again has in various important aspects. Of course, that also would be more attractive. But are you ready to change your topic? No. So let me have a strategy which includes what is the scope of my topic, what are the main aspects of my subject. Let me identify and fix it. What are the various keywords? That's where every abstract holds keywords, minimum to minimum 5 keywords, and then develop a strategy. All right. Then, how do you find and develop a viable research topic? There can be an immediate next question. How do I, get a good, valid research topic? Yes, there are two steps. First, identify a topic. Like suppose example, I identified it to be a cryptocurrency. Then second step would be I should test. Now you may know next question would be how do I test? Yes, the test should include certain concepts and keywords. By following these two concepts and keywords, I will check for background sources, and based upon this, I will start collecting the data. If supposing I am successful, I'm almost done. If I am not successful, then I have to go back to step one, identify a proper topic. Suppose you will be lost, as I just discussed. I may end up finding other more important, attractive topics, losing importance on cryptocurrency. I find something else better. So here, I should know that I am lost here. I should take a pause and get back to my topic and again redo my concepts and keywords, with the help of which again I will have to start search. Finding too little information may indicate that you need to broaden your topic. Again, supposing if there is any indication through application or through any means that you are searching, the data is not available for which you are searching. Suppose cryptocurrency, I confine myself to the period of 19 to 22. If I'm not able to find enough sufficient data, then I should understand that this is very narrowed. I need to rather broaden my timeline, or I need to look at my topic again, whether do I continue or not. So that way I can, you know, uh, concentrate on a particular topic and end up doing my literature review. Various tools, as already discussed, can be used to get these data. This all tools basically help researchers. Okay, out of the huge resources available, they enable you to understand the qualitative vocabularies, text analysis, all this. To sum up, they ensure they act as a facilitator, making your journey smooth by as making your giving you a filter options, showing you the relevant works about that keyword, etc. You They make your work simplified. Next node is writing a paper. Okay, there are three important aspects here. Number one is quality of the journal, and number two is quality of the publication or article, and three is about the measures. Out of these three, you have to, these days, especially if you talk about this generation, all the papers have to, ensure before they go for publication, you need to have a quality of journal, good publication, and should have a proper measuring tools. Suppose, how do you assess them? How, which is the best? To know the quality of the journal, you can look at the ranks of the journal and impact factor. Any impact factor which is as high as above 5 is considered to be good enough. Below 5 is not said to be, not suggested. So any impact factor, the greater the number, the best is the journal. So based upon that, you can simply again, you may have a question, who is giving these impact factor numbers, rankings? There is again certain tools which will enable you to understand the factors, how they are calculated, how the rankings are given. Okay, based on the citations, H index, etc. And then quality of publication or article. The moment you publish an article in, say, ABDC or Web of Science or Scopus, it is automatically termed to be the best article or the paper which you happen to send. Why? Because all the various stages it process through, reviewing, etc., are done so systematically, and they ensure there is plagiarism, minimum plagiarism. And moment a paper is accepted by Web of Science or ABDC, it is said to be a quality publication by default. Then we have the third criteria, which is called H index. This is again calculated and assigned departmental measures, we call it as, or a personal. Even for your paper individually or for my paper, as in Dr. V. Basta, you can see H index. It can be personally, departmental measure, suppose it institutional measure, they can have a, how do they calculate, etc. Backend applications are used to calculate this H index for individuals. These are all done by the Google Scholars. If you have an account, you can just open in Google Scholar, upload your documents, citations, it will give you citations, H index, etc. Views, number of views to your paper, etc. Next is targeting suitable journals. How can you target journals? If your paper is good enough, worthy enough to be published, then next stage you have to ensure they go into a good publication houses. And some publication houses have their own quality checks and do's and don'ts, like guidelines. In the form of guidelines, you are being instructed as to what to be done. We see across people, I mean, journals asking to attach the plagiarism report. That's one way. Secondly, APA style, that's American Psychological Association, APA style of writing the references. Again, to do the APA style, there is a tool online available. Just type APA style. There is one extension which gets added to your Word document. I repeat again, APA style extension can be added. Mendeley's and APA style both can be added to your Microsoft extension, which you can easily add. And in your article references section, you select and give the instructions, follow the dialog boxes whichever appearing, say okay. Automatically all your references will appear in APA style, which is the most popular style followed by the journals to accept your papers. So that's how you can use this extension to do your references in APA style. And another another criteria which a journal seek is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, that's IEEE. That's also an a way of showing your references, a range of journals. So the moment you see these kind of styles available, tools you can adopt, and easily you can go through this, use them, adopt them in your research papers to make your work easy. Followed by how you can enhance in visibility and impact factor, how one can concentrate on this. So the moment you start your journey, whether it is Mendeley app, APA, or size space, or even this Google Scholar, Google Forms, Microsoft Excel, SPSS, R, etc. Wherever you are registering, keep an alert on. So for any alert, any tool that you are using, keep an alert system on. This will enable you an effective means of keeping track of the latest research. Suppose in literature review, size space you're using, keep the alert section on. which will enable you to know the next time when you open it will give you an alert or notifications by stating that a keyword of that you happen to search in your earlier session has some certain new latest information. So that way you can rely on those tools by keeping the alert system on directly on your desktops. These search tools will start showing you alerts. You don't even have to open those particular applications or websites and wait to see or search what is the latest information about your searches, about your works, etc. The moment you on these, by default they start giving you information. How does it work, this alert system? These are all free alert services which happens to be found in the various applications or the websites. You can simply update it, put it in on, and these comes in different forms. And here you can see a search alert. It is a saved search which alerts you when a book or article that matches your search terms in is published. Whatever your previous history you've been searching for, if any new additions have been made into that applications or the website, immediately next time when you open, there will be an alert box showing you that says something related to your stuff that you were searching in the earlier session is available. Latest information is available. So with this, immediately on just with one tap on that, you will be taken to that information. You don't have to do it from the scratch of searching again and again. Alert boxes will ease your work. And similarly, TOC alert. This again notifies if a new journal is published and provides you with the issue of table of contents. For journals, etc., when you register and keep alert section on, it will give you complete table. It may not be necessary to look at all the papers, but a table of content will enable a researcher to understand that how many papers and what type of papers have been published by that journal. You will get an idea. Then you have a citation alert. This will advise you when a new researcher cites a particular work. Suppose I have around 10 works I have uploaded in Google Scholar. So citation will be on. If I keep my citation alert on, the moment I open my desktop or the presentation, now it is happening, right? If anyone is looking at my citation, a pop-up box will appear here on the left side corner stating that somebody is looking at my article. This will increase my citation number. Somebody has cited my work. Okay, they used my work. So what all papers, that's the 10 papers that I have uploaded. For those 10 papers, some paper citation is increased. Immediately I will get a top-up message. I need not go to that particular service app or a tool, open it and check on a daily basis or monthly basis or weekly basis or so, how many citations I got, what is my search alert, what is my TOC, etc. Nothing. I can just put my alerts on and relax. Anything, additions or deletions happening, any new latest information is adding on, I will get an alert. That's the best part of alert system. Most alert services are email based. Now, again, in emails also, most of the time we end up saying no to subscribing emails, but when you are doing a research work and you are into using all these tools across online websites, etc., keep your emails on, because anything new related to that software that you are using, any additions, any updates are happening, all that information you'll be equipped with. The moment if you don't alert, if you don't have any alert system, you should manually get into to know. But it's easy to know by the alerts notification what is happening across. You can easily trace out what is your work. In the literature review session, if you can recollect here, if you have an alert system, simply what happens if I'm using SciSpace, this particular website I have signed up, and I have put active alerts. So what happens is, on my desktop on the right side, the moment I open my system, I will get one top up showing alert on literature review that I happen to search, maybe last search about cryptocurrency, whatever I am searching, it will show if any additions are there, cryptocurrencies related, any documents are there, any latest editions have come up. Immediately it will show here. Now what I can do is I will just I'll tap on that alert, and the moment I tap, it will take me to that page where the editions, latest editions have been, whatever the alert is talking about, it will take me to that page. Now with this, what happens to my knowledge? I may not be using it, okay, fine, it is not useful for you anymore, but it is adding to your knowledge. You're knowing that something is has got added. If required, you will use it. Suppose if you're done with your literature review, that's fine. But if you are in the process, okay, so you may add this particular thing where I happen to say that suppose you are not able to find in the timeline that I specified, number of papers are very less. Tomorrow, when I open, I find an alert saying another paper is added. I am happy to receive the new paper. I have an alert system which gives me alerts, which will notifies me, and it is making my job easy. So having alert, tab open active for all your applications or tools that you happen to use, whether it is SciSpace, SPSS, okay, Grammarly, Mendeley, APA, Word document, even Excel sheets also. Whatever Excel sheets that you are using, Excel sheet, etc., you can simply use them. Put the alert system on so that you keep getting email notifications for all those applications. You start receiving email notifications. Okay, so this is about alert services. I hope I was clear in presenting the topic. If any questions on the other side.